Hello, thank you for coming in today, and today we'll be going over a brief overview of the contract we will be making with the seller, and this will be for the single-family home that you are buying, and we'll be using a 1 to 4 family residential contract, and the attached papers that will go with that I'll be going over. These are where the parties are. You'll be putting your name here. This is the legal description of where it's located. This is the 911 address, basically meaning that if 911 is called, this is the address they'll be looking for. Other things that are involved with it, being attached to the property, exclusions, things that aren't included. Sale price will be using third-party addendum that will be going here. We're not paying money, so that's 0. This is 100,000. Will be 100,000 based off of what we decided on for the price, and so these two numbers will be the same. There's no leases, don't need to worry about that. You will need to initial here and here, and then we'll be putting the address of the property on top of every page. This is the earnest money and how it will be done, delivered, and how much. Termination period, when things will be terminated, and the different clauses for termination and stuff, and some definitions. Title, policy, and survey. We recommend that you do get a survey on this title policy. And title company will go here, and who's paying for it, and other things that involve that. Signature here, at the bottom, and address again. Survey, if you are getting a survey, which we will be, and we recommend that you will, and you recommend that you will, and this will be the number of days to get the survey from the original survey from the seller, which is why I worded it like I was wording it. And the different things that are attached to that, if there's issues with it and how those can be dealt with. Signature here at the bottom, initials here is what I mean. Address here again, different definitions of stuff and things that can be that you know about. Property condition, what's the type of condition the property's in. Initials here again. Contract concerning, address again. This is how the property is given to you, how you want it to be given, what the lender will require to be fixed, and other things like that, how environment issues are all covered here. Brokers and sales agents at the closer. This basically says that if I was involved in the transaction, I'd have to let that be known. If a sales agent involved, they need to make it aware. Broker fees, closing, initials, address again, possession, how you will take possession of property, will you be renting it or just moving straight in once it's closed. Special provisions, settlement and other expenses. If there's other issues that come along, this is kind of deals with those. Prorations for taxes and rents and so forth, the seller will pay the first part of the taxes, and you'll take over the second part of the taxes once you day of the closing of the deal. Is when you'll take over your taxes, and sometimes then the taxes and stuff gotta get paid a little bit extra. Casualty and loss, initials here, address again here. Defaulting, mediation, attorney fees, buyer, seller. If you get an attorney, they got to get paid. Escrow, how that will go, what is the requirements for that. Representations, that all covenants, representation warranties, and the contract survive closing. Federal tax requirements, the government wants their money. initial will go here and here. Notices to the buyer, so and that this is saying that you've gotten a copy of this and everybody knows what's going on pretty much. These will be the attached parties agreement. We'll be using third-party financing, and then other will be non-realty authorization for furniture, and the inspection, which we do recommend, and that will be if you're going to sign off of it, yes or no. And then if you use an attorney, this is where they'd go. Initials here, address again at the top. Same with this page here, address at the top. And this is the day it will be executed. This is when it gets executed, and it will be when everything's finished. And broker, yep. And then this will be your signatures here, and the seller signatures. Address again, and then this is the buyer information. So this, well, the buyer agent information would we go here, and I am the buyer's agent, so I'd click this and not that one. The listing broker firms, this would be the seller's agent's information would go here. Disclosure, listing broker, yeah, that they gotta pay for fees and stuff, and this is receipts of when stuff happens. Property address up there, same thing as before, and it just says when stuff gets done, and that is that one. Third-party financing, this is basically saying that you're getting the whether or not if you get the buyer approval from the lender, or if you don't, on if you the contract will stay or not. This is the different types. Oh, started from wrong spot. Sorry. This third-party financing addendum, the street address, type of financing. This is VA guaranteed financing, so I'd put the amounts and the percent, year long, how long it is, initials here, address again here, and what I was saying earlier about the buyer approval, and if about the option, if it gets approved, you can take it, not, that's that. The security, FHA, BA required provisions, stuff about that. So you'll put your signature here, seller signature would go here. Non-realty items, this will be additional cost and is not considered part of real estate, and this will be listed here, which is stainless steel refrigerator to remain with the property address, and this means that those will stay with the property even though they are not real property, because you are paying for them separately. And you will sign here, seller would sign here, and this is authorization to furnish full and rest for integrated disclosures. This is basically to the lender, title company, and escrow or their representatives about this is the property. I, your name, the buyer, have entitled to exclusive listing representation agreement with the following broker, and this is my information saying that I'm your agent, and you do your signature here. And inspector information, this will be to you, the buyer, from our brokerage for this property. This will be the date. This basically says that that we provide a list of different inspectors you can use, and this is whether you choose or not to hire and expect it to be used, but this is just a list we recommend. You don't have to use any on these, so you don't have to do it, but we've got to say that we presented this to you, and you just have to sign here. Here's the date.